Elliot is holding me in his hands, which are warm but not as soft as my nest. I wish I were in my nest. Strange sounds are coming from my belly, churning and rumbling like a storm. I fear I am doomed. Will this be the end of Gizmo, the evil genius? Get me a pen and paper, Elliot, so that I may write a farewell to my beloved Guinevere. Open a window so that I may summon a pigeon to carry my goodbye. I open my mouth to tell Elliot these things, but I am too weak to squeak. Alas, what a tragedy! The cavies are waiting for me to become their king, to rule their cavy world. But if I perish, they will never have a king. They will never know the glory of leaving their cages and living free. My belly makes another disturbing sound. What has happened to me? I was eating those delicious marshmallow shapes, and then I was struck down with some kind of sickness. It is a mystery that not even my evil genius mind can solve. Perhaps I caught a virus from that drooling canine. He sticks his nose into everything, and then he sticks it on me, spreading who knows what kind of germs. Yes, this is his fault. Elliot carries me into a smaller room. I feel so bad. My tummy gurgles. Meanwhile, in human world, Dad, Elliot says, I'm worried. Gizmo looks terrible. He'll be okay, Dad said. The doctor will be here soon. I look around. There are posters on the walls. One reads, exercise your dog at least 20 minutes a day. What is wrong with dogs? Why can't they exercise themselves? Another reads, don't feed people food to your pets. That doesn't seem fair. Why don't humans want to share their food? I have many questions, but I am too sick to talk. I roll over in Elliot's hands. I close my eyes and begin to dream that I am back at Swampy's pet shop. That is where I learned to read. Mr. Swampy had a parrot, and he spent an hour each morning teaching the alphabet to this parrot. I listened, for it was very interesting, and it only took me a couple of days to learn the alphabet, and soon I was able to spell out words. It was then I discovered that the lining of my cage was covered in interesting articles. I began to read. I enjoyed the restaurant reviews. I also liked the classified ads, where you could buy everything from furniture to cars. Even animals were for sale. I was horrified to learn that we cavies cost much less than canines. Why would a human pay more for a dog? How troubling. I read the articles quickly. Then I asked the chameleon to read me his, but I discovered that he could not read. In fact, none of the other animals could read. They did not gather information from their cage linings. They just pooped on them. I was unique, different. That is when I realized that I was a genius. I wanted to share my talent with Guinevere while she waddled on her wheel. I read aloud to her, helping her learn how to spell out words. I had to speak loudly over the constant chirping of the lovebirds and croaking of the frogs. I tried to give a reading lesson every day. Guinevere never read back to me, but that is because she was so busy with her training. I know she learned. Who better to teach her than an actual genius? Oh, how I do miss her. I open my eyes. Another human has entered the room. In People World, hello, I'm Dr. Pine. What's your guinea pig's name? His name is Gizmo, Elliot said. He's very overweight. What have you been feeding him? Dr. Pine said. Timothy hay, alfalfa pellets, carrots and apples. Oh, and broccoli, Elliot said. Well, those are the right things, Dr. Pine replied. But he got loose, Dad said, so he might have eaten something else. Please put him on the table and I'll take a look, Dr. Pine said. Elliot places me on a cold metal table. I shiver, then the doctor presses something against my tummy. Alas, what torture is this? I try to bite her, but she is quick. Oh, foul creature, leave me alone. She does not obey. Instead, she announces that she is going to give me an x-ray. I have read about these devices. In Elliot's comic books, x-ray beams are shot at even villains to disintegrate them. I must make my escape. When the doctor picks me up, I try to pry open her fingers with my nose, but her grip is tight. I squeak, I grunt, I poop in her hand. But she does not care. She carries me into another room and sets me in a basin. The sides are slippery. I cannot climb to freedom. She steps away. A humming sound fills the air. A light flashes. I hold my breath. Is this the end of Gizmo? The humming stops. The light is gone. The doctor scoots me out of the basin and carries me back to Elliot. I'm alive. I am too evil for the x-ray device. I groan with relief. I also groan because my Tummy still hurts. Meanwhile, in People World, I think this is a case of indigestion. Is he going to die? Elliot said. No, Dr. Pine said, but he definitely ate too much. Ate too much? I pricked my ears. It is not possible for a cavvy to eat too much. Eating is what we do. This doctor doesn't know what she's talking about. I've always been proud of my eating. Why, at Swampy's pet shop, I was famous for my appetite. One night, using a chewing stick, I pried open the door to my cage and waddled along the shelf till I came to a glorious display called Treats for Rodents. I was enchanted by the choices: seed and nut clusters, fruit wafers, and golden corn cobs. For a moment I wished I were a hamster, able to stuff my cheek pockets and take the goodies back to my cage. I spent the whole night eating, resting only for 3 naps. Mrs. Swampy found me in the morning, asleep on a pile of wrappers. "Oh, you little evil genius," she said to me. And that is when I discovered the truth. I wasn't just a genius. I was an evil genius. Elliot is picking me up again. His hands feel so nice and warm after that cold metal table, but my belly still hurts. Meanwhile, in People World, keep him on a strict diet of alfalfa and water for a few days, said Dr. Pine. Thank you, Doctor, Dad replied. Thank you, Elliot said. Goodbye, Elliot and Mr. Washington. Goodbye, Gizmo, Dr. Pine replies. Good riddance to you, Doctor. How dare you poke at me and tell me I eat too much? You know nothing about cabbies. When I recover, you shall feel my wrath. My new dad and Elliot and the furry potato have been inside the room for a long time. I'm shivering and panting. I've smelled everyone's ankles. I've talked to every dog and cat. I walk back and forth from one end of the room to the other, and as far as my leash will go, I feel very bad, and I really want to get out of here. Meanwhile, in People World, Wedgie, calm down, said Mom. Mom, Jasmine asked, do you think Gizmo will be okay? Well, Mom said, let's think positive thoughts. I didn't let him out of his cage, Jasmine said. I know, sweetie, said Mom. Wedgie is going crazy, said Jackson. Something's happened. Dad and Elliot come out of that bad room. Elliot's holding the furry potato. I wag my tail. Are we done? Can we go home? But then I see the lady who wears the white coat. I'm scared of her. I scoot under a chair to hide from the lady with the white coat. But as soon as she leaves, I dart out and run to the door. It's time to make our escape. Let's go, people. I run in circles in front of the door. Come on, superpowers, work! I run, and the door opens. Yes, Super Wedgie to the rescue. We leave the place that smells like sadness and fear. I tug on my leash, pulling Dad toward our car. Everyone gets in. Dad lifts me up, puts me on Jasmine's lap. I lick Jasmine's face. I'm so happy that we're going home. I love home. Meanwhile, in People World. So, what did the doctor say? Said Mom. He said that Gizmo ate something bad and got indigestion, said Dad. We need to keep him on a healthy diet. Gizmo's farts smell like cereal, said Jackson. He could have died, said Elliot. I'm not letting Jasmine take care of him any more. This isn't your sister's fault, said Dad. She's not my sister, said Elliot. The car begins to drive. Jasmine wraps her arms around me and squeezes. I lick a tear off Jasmine's face. Don't be sad, Jasmine. Super Wedgie opened the door and got us out of that bad place. We're going home.